Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed the crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning or this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit with a warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that contact, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Daniel Smith.
He's on his way, Your Honor.
I'll wait patiently. Afternoon, Daniel. What's your date of birth? Daniel, what's your date of birth? When's your birthday? You going to say anything to me, Daniel? Daniel, would you like to get out of jail today? Because you have to talk to me if you want to get out of jail today.
Cold email.
Perhaps so. So you're not going to tell me your date of birth? Nothing? Do you have any history?
She doesn't, Your Honor.
Okay.
Indicates drugs were involved in the incident, so.
Well, there's something.
See, if something falls, I think it still is, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the,
Did he get cleared medically before we brought him today?
He did, Your Honor, but he is housed in medical.
Okay. All right. And no history?
The only thing are a couple of drop cases from 2010.
Okay. Well, I may regret this. I'm going to appoint the public defender and I'm going to release Daniel on his own recognizance. I don't know how long he'll stay out, but Daniel, you'll be back in court on the 9th of January. Thank you. He doesn't do something real dumb. Angelica McQuaid. Morning again, young lady. Date of birth?
1892.
All right, now we have the other warrant. This is a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. There's 3 counts of fail to appear on a grand theft, a dwelleth, and a fraudulent use of identification information. Did we appoint the public defender yesterday? Do you want the public defender?
No.
Okay. I won't appoint him. The bond on this warrant is no bond all the way around. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 8th of January, all right? Thank you. Vanessa Miller? Morning, Miss Miller. What's your date of birth?
05-1495.
Ms. Miller, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
No prior history, Your Honor.
Okay. Vanessa, I have an address for you on Blair Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
13 years.
And does Mr. Sassoni live there with you?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job these days?
I own my own tax business.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $50. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Michael. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until your charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you up until 4 p.m. this afternoon so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the address on Blair Avenue is concerned, as long as Michael stays there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay until we get the case resolved. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever it is that you need wherever you plan to go. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'd meet you there with a deputy. You have a few minutes to grab your things and get going where you're going. I'll have you back in court on the 9th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
I have one question.
Sure, go ahead.
We have a child together, and he has him. Can I go and get him?
Here's the situation with children, and this sounds cold-hearted, but it's just the reality. Because you can't have contact either directly or through a third person, it may be difficult for you to get to your child. I'm sorry about that, but the law requires me to order that no contact. I'm not telling you you can't have contact with your child. I'm just telling you that you can't violate the no contact order in order to arrange that contact, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Brenda Morris? Morning, Brenda, what's your date of birth?
1/15/63.
All right, Brenda, you are here on a warrant that I signed. Apparently you failed to appear in my court on a charge of driving on a suspended license. Is this something she could resolve today?
It is, Your Honor. We would ask the court to impose a 10-day in the Hernando County Jail, along with fines and court costs and cost of prosecution. The DWSR is based, or the suspension is based off of DUI in West Virginia in June of this year.
Okay, all right. So, Brenda, if you wanted to resolve it today, it would be 10 days in the county jail. You'd get credit for 2 served. If you don't want to resolve it, then I can appoint you a lawyer and set a bond. Which one of those sounds better?
I need a court-appointed lawyer.
Okay. You don't want to take the 10 days?
I don't have anywhere to go.
Okay. All right, very good. Let's see. So I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to then leave the bond on the warrant, which is the $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 9th of January. Very important that you contact the PD before you get out, okay?
Will they contact me?
If you can't get out, yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Heather Thompson? Morning, Heather. What's your date of birth?
3/22/84.
Heather, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. There's 2 counts of failed to appear, one on a larceny or a theft, the other on a trespass. The judge that issued that warrant set your bonds at $2,513 and $513 respectively for a total of $3,026. I can't change those bonds. If you're able to post those bonds, then you can get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richey, and find out when they want you in court. If you can't post those bonds, then we're going to let Pasco know right away. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. It doesn't take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you were still here in 5 days, they'd bring you back to see me and find out what the problem is, all right?
I've been here since May,
Okay.
and I got another month to go, and I've been trying to write them and call them, and they even tell me what the trespassing is all about, or
Okay.
even the larceny.
I don't have an answer for you. What's your EOS date?
Sometime in January.
Okay. I don't know why this is here today. I mean, I don't know that they'll come get you before your EOS, but that's the deal. If they won't, then they'd have 5 days from your end of sentence date, okay?
Alright, because I wasn't arrested in Pasco, so I don't know, like, anything about this, and the whole reason why I'm here is because they said I had a warrant for my arrest,
Makes sense, doesn't it?
and they arrested me.
Okay, well,
I've been here since.
okay, you're serving a sentence for Hernando County here, right?
Now I am, yeah. Because
Okay.
when I got arrested for the failure to appear, I was with somebody that had stuff on them, you know, long story. Blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
I get you. But that's the reason you're here is because you're serving a sentence here. And the people in Pasco County don't want you down there while you're serving a sentence for us because then they're paying for you. That's,
So,
I mean, that's the
I
answer.
was told when I was arrested that I was being arrested for the failure to appear.
Okay, well, you were.
And it just went into something else, pretty much.
Right. That's exactly correct. That may be why they were having contact with you, but then it became something else. And then
Yeah.
it became something local. So they decided to go with that instead. Now, apparently, you're close enough to done that they wanted to serve the warrant, so that's what's happened.
And when I first got arrested, I just had the failure to appear. Now I have another one because I had a court date in September, but I was sitting here.
Okay? Yeah, well, you may not get charged with the failing to appear, but that's how we get you back in court in Pasco, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So maybe they might come get me now, or...
I'm certainly okay with them coming to get you, but I can't make them come get you.
Okay.
All right?
Just me.
Till you
All right.
serve your sentence.
Thank you.
Gary Allafield, felon.
I believe he.
You're on. Keep on it.
Oh, awesome. Caleb Byer. Want to sir, what's your date of birth?
2/23/91.
Caleb, you're hearing a warrant out of Sarasota. The judge that signed the warrant found probable cause for a battery as a second or subsequent offense and set your bond at $10,000. I can't change that. If you can post the bond, then you can get out of jail here, go down to Sarasota, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, I'll give them 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
All right.
All right? Thomas DeRudis. Morning, Thomas. What's your date of birth?
10/9/98.
Thomas, I have 2 counts this morning, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and it appears to me that you also have an open felony case. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. As to these charges, there is probable cause. You want to represent yourself? You're going to hire the private lawyer, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. I'm going to set the bonds on the misdemeanors at $1,000 each per the schedule. That's a total of $2,000. Those will be back on the 11th of January. And then job number 1 when you're out on bond is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 18 CF 1945. And so I'll hold you without bond at least until you get back in front of Judge Toner on the 2nd of January. Judge Toner can revisit your bond then if he wishes, and the public defender will come see you before your court dates, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Randy Eskridge. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
14/73.
Randy, you're hearing a warrant I signed. I found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'll have you back in court on January 9th. PD is going to come see you before court, all right?
Sir, I was locked up in Pasco County. I couldn't get there.
Okay. I mean,
I
that's,
am.
I'm with you. PD will come see you and see what they can do for you. Right now, the offer is 4 months in the county jail, so.
And then I contacted Randy when I got out, my probation officer, and he told me to get with me.
Okay, all I got is the warrant, so all I can do is tell you that there's no bond and you'll be back no later than the 9th of January, all right?
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you. Kevin Hashi? Morning, Kevin. your date of birth?
5/16/88.
May 16th of 1988, is that what you just said?
Yes, sir.
Everything I have says October 19th.
Me too. I got four
No, sir.
probable cause after they say that.
And then I have a rap sheet that has May 16th, 1988. Same name.
Let's do this. Kevin, give me the last 4 digits of your social security number.
0691.
All right, that's you. Okay. We'll note for the record that his correct date of birth should be May 16th, 1988. And then, Kevin, I have a number of warrants for you. The first one was signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently, he failed to appear in his court on account of possession of controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and possession of cocaine. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. Judge Merritt set your bond at no bond on those. I'm not going to change that. I'll send you back to see him on January 8th. And then I have a warrant for a burglary of a structure signed by Judge Heineman, a warrant for burglary of a structure signed by Judge Neal, and another warrant for burglary of a structure signed by Judge Heineman. I assume you want the PD in all 3 of those.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And because you're on no bond on the other cases, I'm going to leave the bonds on those per the schedule, which is $5,000 each. They'll all be coming back on the 8th of January, and the public defender will come see you prior to your court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Patrick Manning. Patrick, what's your date of birth?
12/31/67.
Patrick, the charge is resisting without violence. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Yes, Your Honor. Long history. Looks like there's currently charges in Pasco County for burglary. There's no disposition shown on those. He just got out of Department of Corrections in February of this year. It looks like he violated probation on a felony battery taken offense. Got a from 2017, false information to a pawnbroker dealing in stolen property. 2 of each of those. 2015, there was a parole violation which resulted in him going back to the Department of Corrections. Looks like he was in the Department of Corrections in 2006. Violated his probation out of Hillsborough in 2005 on a resisting arrest without violence.
That's good. That's good. Patrick, I got an address for you on Powell Road. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Just recently, I just got released from prison in November.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No, sir.
All right. I'll leave the bond at $1,000. You'll be back in court on the 9th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender if you're able to get out, all right?
Your Honor, we can take care of this right now because I'm going back to prison anyway.
180.
Yeah. They're offering 6 months this morning, Patrick, so it makes more sense to at least talk to a lawyer, and we probably can speed your travels up that way, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Gilberto Marrero Marias. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
February 1963.
All right. I have 2 probable cause arrests for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on those, of course, is no bond. I will have you back in front of Judge Merritt on the 8th of January. The public defender will come see you before court, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Joseph Pereira. Morning, Joe. What's your date of birth?
6/25/84.
All right, Joe, I got a warrant out of Pasco County. Looks like I've got 5 counts of defrauding a secondhand dealer and 2 counts of a lower level defrauding a secondhand dealer. The judge that signed the warrant would have found probable cause for all of those. Looks like you still have cases pending here, right?
Yeah, I was on probation. I went to court yesterday, and I didn't even know I had warrants. They pulled me in here today.
Okay. Okay. Well, the judge that signed this warrant out of Pasco set the bonds at $10,000 each on the first 5 and $5,000 each on the second 2. That's a total of $60,000. You won't.
Your Honor,
Are you serving a sentence here, or you still got court going on here?
I was on probation, and I just got a letter saying to come back to court. And when I went to court, they continued it to the 11th, and then they were like, "Oh, you have active warrants out of Pasco."
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with your local cases, but when those are done, that's when you'll be ready to go to Pasco. At that point, you could bond out on those Pasco charges if you had the ability. If you didn't, they'd have the 5 days to come get you. So I'm not sure why this is served this early, because you have to resolve your Hernando issues before you go anywhere. All right?
Is there any way I can get lower bond or something, Your Honor? I take care of my son and a sick father.
Right. Joe, I can't do anything with the out-of-county. It's not only an out-of-county warrant, it's from a whole other judicial circuit. I have no sway over that warrant other than to tell you that that's what it is and that's why it is, and that you'll have to deal with it when you're done with us, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Shane Stanley? Morning, Shane. What's your date of birth?
3/10/76.
Shane, I got 3 warrants this morning. 2 of them are from me for failing to appear, both of them for failing to appear on driving on a suspended license, and then 1 from Judge Scaglione for a grand theft. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, in 2018, it looks like April, as a matter of fact, there was an engage in public aid fraud under $200. In 2016, he violated his probation on a battery charge. It looks like there was 2 separate violations on that. In 2014, there was a failure to appear on a felony charge. That was a driving on a suspended license, 3rd offense. 2013, possession of a controlled substance, possession of counterfeit payments, so probably like forged bill or something. 2010 to 2011, he was in prison. 2010, he had a violation of probation. 2009, he was in prison. 2009 for violation of probation. Looks like there was a robbery of some sort that in 2008 that led to that prison sentence.
All right, that's good. Shane, where you been staying lately?
Just here and there, friend of mine, and a couple different friends when I can.
Okay, you got a job these
But
days?
I have a place to stay. Just me and my baby's mother have been at odds lately.
That'll happen. Are you working these days?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave the bonds per the warrant, and each of the 3 is at $2,000, so that's a total of 6. On the 2 that are my warrants, you'll be back in front of me on the 8th of January. On the grand theft, you'll be in front of Judge Merritt on the same day. If you can get out, make sure you contact the PD right away. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Glenn Thompson. Morning, Glenn. What's your date of birth?
10/16/68.
All right. So, Glenn, as you know, we got this warrant that I signed for a violation of probation. I think the rec was 30 days. Is that right?
Yes, it was.
So, Glenn, you want to take the 30 days this morning? You want to have a chance to talk to a lawyer first?
I have a chance to talk to a lawyer first, sir.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. The bond on this is no bond. I'll have you back in court on the 9th of January. PD will come see you before court, all right?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Todd Williams. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/29/89.
And Todd, I have a warrant for you signed by Judge Toner. Apparently you failed to appear in front of him back in August on a felony petty theft. As to that charge, you're going to have hire private counsel, represent yourself, or would you like the public defender?
I believe I have a public defender already appointed to me.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that that's the case. Judge Toner set your bond at no bond. I'll have you back in front of him on the 4th of January. It looks like they told you the 8th. The right date is the 4th, and the PD will come see you before court, okay?
Mr. Hitzemann, do you have record of me being in Pasco County for the last 4 months?
What's that?
I was in Pasco County for 4 months. I want to make sure.
And I'm Mr. Williams. I get all that. The problem is, you have a felony case, a circuit court case. That's not something I can deal with ever. All I can do is tell you why you're here and send you to see Judge Toner. All right?
I just wanted to make sure I was getting credit for it. That's all.
Well, I suspect that you will. You would if you were in front of me. So you'll have to ask Judge Toner. All right?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Jeffrey Brake. All right. Is there an understanding of Mr. Brake's case?
Yes, Judge, let me get my stuff over here. Yeah, the 4 cases that I put up by my correspondent, Mr. Larison, and 2 of them he does object to, and 2 of them he has a counter offer. Mr. Brake is one he had no objection to.
Okay. What's the agreement?
Time served.
And do we know what the time is?
No, actually, I don't. Mr. Brake, how long have you been in jail?
26 days, I believe, sir.
Jeffrey, you want to take time served on that now?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 18CT2760, that's the charge that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
It was without knowledge, I believe, sir, the charge. But
It is not without knowledge because that's not a criminal charge. So if you want to take the plea, I'll get you out. If you want to talk to a lawyer.
no, I do.
All right. You want to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll accept that plea. Find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 20 days in the county jail. Credit 20 served. Fine and court cost is $488, $100 for the public defender's office and your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, Jeffrey. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Justin Brown.
Judge, that's one where Mr. Larison did not agree to the time served. His offer was 90 days. Evidently, there's an open felony as the reason for the 90 days. It's probably not in Mr. Brown's interest to take the 90 with the open felony.
Okay. So apparently, Justin, there was a 90-day offer, and you have open felony cases. Is that correct?
I guess they just took me to court the other day and said that I was being served with formal charges or something.
Okay.
I really didn't understand it. She didn't have time to explain nothing.
Okay, I'm sure she'll be back to see you. What I'm going to do on these, you haven't even been arraigned on these, so I'm going to leave you on my docket for the 19th of this month, which is where you'll be. And my guess is by then you'll have spoken to a lawyer and we'll have a better idea about where we're going with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Michael Scheer.
That's another one. He agreed, Mr. Larison agreed on time served on that one. How long have you been in jail?
I picked up on
21st. Yep. So you missed 20, so you got 10 and 14, 24 days. Do you want to take time served?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. So we're going to give up those rights so we can take care of this today.
Yes, sir.
Case number 18MM3772 as to charge of loitering and prowling. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
Accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 24 days in the county jail, credit 24 served. Fine and court cost is $553, $100 for the public defender's office and your cost of incarceration. But that takes care of it, Michael. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, all right?
All right.
Thank you. Good luck. And Jazil Cuevas, Roland.
That's another one where Mr. Larison objected to it, and probation recommended 60 days, so that's what's on the table for him.
This is a VOP?
It is, yes.
Okay. And Giselle.
And the state's in agreement with the 60 days recommended by our probation.
Okay. He's been in 23rd. Let's see. So Jazeel, if you wanted to, right now you could admit a violation and take 60 days. You have, with front-end time, credit for 25 days served, which means you'd have about another 25 to do if you took the 60 this afternoon. You don't have to. If you'd rather have a chance to speak to an attorney before you take something, you can do that. So that's your choice. You want to take the 60 days right now, or you want to come back to court? Let's see, it'll be the 19th of December.
I'll take what you're offering me.
Take the 60?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand by entering an admission to violation of probation, you give up the right to have a trial to the court, the right to confront the witnesses against you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve your case today?
Yes.
Case number 18MM2094, to admit that you violated your probation.
Yes.
I'll accept the admission, find that it's freely and voluntarily made, and will adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charges if that wasn't done before, sentence you to 60 days in the county jail with credit for 25 days served. There'll be a $100 cost of prosecution, $100 for the public defender's office, your cost of incarceration. Hang on 1 second. If we didn't adjudicate you guilty of the marijuana before, that will result in a 1-year suspension of your driver's license. But that takes care of it. You just need to finish up the time. Like I said, should be another 25 days or so, all right?
I got a question.
Sure.
So I can't get my license?
Your license will be suspended. There will be a way for you to get a business purpose only license when you get out. I think you'll have to take a drug awareness class or something of that nature, and then you'll be able to get a business purpose license for the rest of the year, so that you could at least go to work or school, whatever you're doing, all right?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was concerned about.
All right. Very good. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Anybody else, Jill?
No, thank you.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too, Your Honor.